Hello, my students and viewers at home. My name is Okolo Evelyn from Biology Department of St. Charles College, Onitsha. Our topic today is on structural differences in the eggs of vertebrates. Before we go into the lesson, let's look at the specific objectives. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to, number 1, define an egg. 2, differentiate between the egg of fishes and egg of amphibians. 3, state 3 functions of jelly-like materials. 4, draw the diagram of fowl egg. 5, discuss the functions of the following organs. 1, yolk sac. 2, anion. 3, allantois. 4, chorion. Now the lesson. What is an egg? An egg is the organic vessel containing the zygote, resulting from the fertilization of the ovum, in which an animal embryo develops, until it can survive on its own, at which point the animal hatches. There are 5 groups of vertebrates: fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. We will look at the structure of the egg of these vertebrates. We will start with the egg of fishes. The structure here is the egg of fishes. The egg of fishes are surrounded by a thick and hard envelope in which a whole micropore is present, through which spermatozoa enters the egg. The chorion offers protection to the developing embryo. The embryo of fishes are nourished by the yolk present in the egg sac. The yolk also contains the germinal disc, which is colored and visible through the transparent outer shell of the egg. The germinal disc is where the female genetic material is found. The egg of fishes are tasteful to other aquatic animals. Let's look at the egg of amphibians. The egg of amphibians contain limited yolk for the growing embryo. Their eggs are laid in chains or grooves. The eggs are covered and held together by string of jelly-like material to prevent overcrowding of the eggs. The jelly-like material is distasteful, making the eggs unpalatable to aquatic animals. If you look at the structures here, the black ones here is the egg of amphibians, while the whitish material there is the jelly-like material. Now let's look at the functions of jelly-like materials. Number 1, it provides shock absorber to prevent injury to the egg from wave action. Number 2, it prevents too many sperm from getting to the egg at the same time because of its viscosity. Number 3, this jelly helps the sun to give warmth through the egg inside. Another one is reptile's egg. Reptiles lay soft and leathery shell egg to allow for the exchange of water. Reptile eggs are small and simple. Inside the egg, the embryo uses nutrients from the yolk. Reptile's egg consists of protective eggshell, albumin, vitellus with various thin membrane. The structures here are the examples of reptiles and their eggs. Structure number 1 is the egg of lizard. Then the structure number 2 is the egg of snake. Structure number 3 is the egg of tortoise. And structure number 4 is the egg of chameleon. Functions of the parts of bird's egg. Number 1, eggshell. Look at the eggshell at the diagram. This is the hard outer surface. The functions. Number 1, it provides protection for the inner structures against mechanical damage and desiccation. Number 2, it contains pores to allow the exchange of gases. Another part is shell membrane or double membrane. It is divided into the outer and the inner membrane. The shell membrane surrounded the egg white or albumin of the egg. Functions of the shell membrane. It is the site for gaseous exchange. Number 2, it protects the contents of the egg from bacteria and prevents moisture from leaving the egg too quickly. Another one is yolk and chalaza. The yolk is the main source of nutrition for the embryo. Functions of the yolk. It provides food for the embryo. It is rich in fat and small protein. The fat gives yolk its color. Then functions of the chalaza. It holds the yolk in place. They prevent the yolk from rising and touching the shell. There are 4 membranes that surround the yolk and keep the yolk intact, and they are called extra-embryonic membrane or vitelline. And this includes yolk sac. Another one is amnion. Then we have another part as allantois. Then the last one is the chorion. Let's look at the functions of these parts. Number 1, which is the yolk sac. It transports nutrients from the egg yolk to the developing embryo. Then the second one, amnion. It protects the embryo. It secretes amniotic fluid, which acts as shock absorber. It also provides cushion for the developing embryo and also prevents desiccation of embryo. The third one is allantois. It stores the nitrogenous waste of the embryo, so acts as extra embryonic kidney. Then the last one, which is the chorion, it acts as extra embryonic lung and helps in exchange of gases. Now, another part of the fowl egg or bird's egg is the albumin. It is the egg white. The functions. Number 1, it provides the liquid medium or water in which the embryo develops. Number 2, it provides a large amount of the protein necessary for the proper development of the embryo. Number 3, when the chick is ready to hatch, the albumin acts as a lubricant to help the chick turn, push, and struggle to free itself from the egg. Then another part of the bird's egg is germinal disc. It is a little white spot which contains the cells that will develop into a chick if the egg is fertile. If the egg is fertile, it is called a blastoden. If it is not fertile, it is called a blastodisc. Then another part is air space. This stores air for the egg. The air space forms when the contents of the egg cool and contract after the egg is laid. Then it provides the chicks with air when it is ready to start breeding on its own. Let's see the differences between the bird's egg and reptile's egg. Number 1, on the parts of bird's egg, they laid hard shell egg, while reptiles lay soft leathery shell egg. Number 2, bird's egg tend to have blunt and pointed ends. Reptiles' eggs are usually symmetrical. Number 3, bird's eggs are incubated by body heat. Reptiles' eggs are incubated by natural heat in crevice or vegetation. Number 4. Birds' eggs are larger, while reptiles' eggs are small and simple. Let's also see the differences between the amphibian's egg and bird's egg. Number 1. In amphibian's egg, it has no shell, but bird's egg has shell. Number 2. Amphibian egg has limited food reserve or yolk. Bird's egg has large food reserve or yolk. Number 3. Amphibians' eggs are laid in grooves or in chain, while birds' eggs are laid singly. Number 4. Amphibian eggs are held together by string or jelly-like materials. In the side of the birds, the egg yolk is held in 2 tall strands of albumin called chalaza. On the side of amphibian, it has no chalaza. On the side of bird's egg, it has chalaza. The last one, amphibian eggs do not have egg space, but there is egg space in bird's egg. Now, let's see the eggs of mammals as one of the vertebrates. There are 3 groups of mammals. 1. The placenta mammals. Number 2. The monitrines. Number 3. The marsupials. Let's start with the placental mammals or viviparous. In placental mammals, the female retains the embryo within the body, where nourishment and further development takes place. The embryo is protected with the aid of placenta until the mammals give birth to the young ones and look after them till they can manage on their own. Then the monitrines or egg-laying mammals. They have a single opening to pass both the waste and the eggs. Example, dog-billed platypus and the spiny anteater. Female monitrines have ovaries that produce eggs but lack uterus and vagina. Eggs produced leave the body through the cloaca. Their eggs have a leathery outer covering. The egg hatches after 2 to 3 weeks. They feed their young ones after hatching through mammary glands that produce milk from a patch on their body. The structures here are the examples of egg-laying mammals with their eggs. Structure number 1 is the egg of dog-billed platypus. Then structure number 2 is the egg of spiny anteater. The animal beside the egg is the anteater. Another mammal is marsupials or ovoviviparous. They are the animals that lays eggs and develop the eggs inside the mother's body. And they give birth to the young that are not completely developed when they are born. They do not develop placenta. Instead, they develop a sac filled with yolk in their wombs. They give birth within a shorter period of time compared with the placental mammals. The young climbs from its mother's pouch called marsupial. It is located outside the body. They stay there for weeks or months until they are fully developed. Examples of marsupials are kangaroos, koala, bears, etc. Yeah, let's use the structure here to show the examples of ovoviviparous or marsupials. The structure number 1 here is the immature kangaroos. Then structure number 2 is the parent kangaroos. If you look at the abdomen, you will see the pouch that is located outside the body and the young or immature kangaroos inside it. It is stayed there until it is matured. Now that we have come to the end of this lesson, let me use the following questions to evaluate you. Number 1, define an egg. 2, Differentiate between the egg of fishes and egg of amphibians. Number 3. State 3 functions of jelly-like materials. Number 4. Draw the diagram of fire egg. Number 5. Discuss the functions of the following organs. 1. Yolk sac. 2. Anion. 3. Allantois. And number 4. Chorion. Answer the questions and send them to my WhatsApp number, which is 08037388099. Thanks for listening.